default avatar. He's got 3 stars, which you all start out with, and 0 gamer score, and the only game he's played was a few days ago, and it was a demo. I think this is a silver account that was just created for free in order to specifically harass her. So I think that this is what that was kind of trying to get at, but it didn't really, there are issues with it, but I think that's what issue it was trying to address. And lastly, I love this idea. Team, clan, or guild reputation system. So this gives a way for friends or your teammates to actually initialize social pressure on somebody who might be being a bully to other people. And so one of the criticisms about this was that there's going to be troll clans and troll guilds who are just going to race to the bottom. And of course there's going to be. There would absolutely be that case. But what this criticism doesn't address, again, is it doesn't have to just be about social stuff. There could also be some sort of mechanical system in place where, let's say, they don't get as good of rewards. They can't actually get to some of the top rating instances. They can't actually do something because their reputation is so low. That leads to other issues where you sort of kind of get like clans sort of reputation each other back and forth. I understand that, but it doesn't necessarily have to be just about social. We can build in systems to try and work around that. Okay, last thing. Way to go.
Sorry.
Okay, so I'm not sure if this is all going to be correct now after hearing some of you guys today, but most of what this is all a hobby project for me, and I am interested in trying to find ways to sort of convince people, and I do have some programming project ideas of more sort of convincing paths, right? Which needs data. We actually need data on this, and so most of what I found was sort of behavioral studies, or what we need are behavioral studies, and what we have are demographic studies. We have a whole lot of stuff about the genders divisions, or the age range or something like that, or the ethnicities, but I couldn't find a whole lot about behavioral studies about harassment in video games, for example. And so I was actually talking to somebody at the University of Virginia who was looking to kind of do studies on how women react, and it's kind of similar to what the cycle John talked about, where women end up hiding their gender. And so I was like, am I wrong here? Is there stuff that I'm missing? And he's like, no, there's really not a whole lot at this point, actually. So I want him to sort of inject that in there. But there's issues that he was mentioning, like if you say design an experiment where you have 4 women go and play on a team online, and 4 men go play on a team online on Xbox Live, and then are harassed in their differing amounts, you can't exactly get consent forms from people who are harassing them to actually be taking part in the study. If you bring them into the experimental setting, then you're kind of getting lab data as opposed to real data, so there's issues there. But what I would like to know is if there's any ways that, as opposed to, fat, ugly, or slutty.com doing it, I was wondering if there's any way that academia could kind of go and talk to game companies and sort of get them to build in data collection systems, because it's in their interest to have that data, to have women stop canceling their Xbox Live Gold subscriptions. And so it's in their interest to actually fight this and to do it in a way that actually makes sense and is sort of backed up. So if there's any suggestions anybody has for academia to help, that'd be great. And I think that's it.
One more.
Oh, yeah, that was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're good. All right.
Hey, we're decently on time.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi, that was great.
Thank you.
You should look at me. I can solve those work for you. I should study the papers.
I'll get that name after.
But so I love the stuff on the end. I don't know if you guys heard me talking earlier about the PlayStation Home, the sexual harassment simulator.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Players
We were working on this.
And actually, everything I talked about the stuff that you were talking about, and the problem is that most game companies really don't give a flying fuck. They really don't. I mean, when I was working for Sony, I said, I walk in there, and every single time some guy's got his face in my project, he's sitting on my lap, and they were like, well, here's not rating. You can report it. It takes 4 steps. You have to know the person's name. You have to open the recording thing. You have to open the keyboard up and type their name in.
Yeah.
And by that time they're gone, and you can't spell their name.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like we're sort of disparaging Xbox a whole lot, but I know that the Xbox Live policy and enforcement team has made efforts to try and sort of be transparent. They've talked at conferences about the specific tools they use that they call Vulkan, and they definitely want people to report. It's just that I'm not sure they have the resources or the actual faith in the community.
Because that's what the people at Sony said to me. But then when I actually did it, it took 20 minutes to fill the form out. So they don't make it easy to report. So it's not, if they say, oh, people aren't reporting it might be because they're software skills.
Yeah, tooling can definitely be improved. I know, for instance, if you report someone in WoW, it automatically captures like the last couple minutes of chat log.
So the other thing I was talking about earlier is also just my experience in MMOs and role-playing games, especially where the players are a little older, where there's like a zero tolerance. The social conventions are the best. That is the best solution.
Yeah.
If someone is just ostracized or kicked out, and this is true in Second Life, like actually, if you're in a strong community in Second Life, the community will get rid of that person within seconds of any kind of harassment. So I think a social solution that's a little, not just a software solution, but it's a little more thought out as a sociology approach could be really effective.
As I kind of missed this part, but sort of a combination of that is that I actually have no desire whatsoever for developers to dictate what player behavior should be. I have no desire for developers to tell me I can't use the word fuck on Xbox Live, right? And so what I really like about these ideas of systems is that the community as a whole, and it's kind of what I was saying with the borderline post before, has a chance to all say, I think you're wrong, 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 right? And so having sort of the auto-muting be a sort of a democratic way of voting this person down, right? And so we don't have to codify behavior, but we can codify tools to dictate behavior.
I mean, not the other thing I suggested them was to make this like invisible body sphere thing that people could wear. I didn't want to do that either. I mean, in Pirates of the Caribbean, when people started kneeling and doing the head in the crotch thing, they just disabled kneeling. So you can't kneel in Pirates of the Caribbean anymore. But I mean, there are ways to do it in software as well. Not so much with speech, but with other kinds of things.
Yeah, I was just wondering because have you ever considered looking also into cultural gaming behavior? Because online gaming kind of began from people in the LAN community, and the idea of the LAN is that basically having computers in one room, and you wouldn't have any insights, you wouldn't have anything, you wouldn't be anonymous, you would all be friends, and the idea was that as friends, you would basically not talk each other. And so competitive gaming ended up acquiring a certain level of smack talk culture. And so there's a culture of smack talk. And so, fuck you shit, or, racism, all that stuff is quote unquote acceptable because there's an undercurrent of that culture that is accepted within competitive gaming. And that's why you get all these kind of horror stories about people kind of going online and all the theory. This stuff, they don't realize it because it's very much ingrained into the competitive gaming culture.
Yeah.
And I wasn't able to consider, I didn't necessarily kind of going in there, kind of studying, I kind of began. It became very innocently, but now it's just this big monster that we can't stop. And so
I think you should study. Here's the thing. I mean, we do this as like a hobby project. We're doing a hobby project as like a WordPress blog, right? But I mean, what I'm really happy about with that other study is that I've had some criticism about, because the gamer tags that are up there, that, suddenly those people are going to be harassed and that blood is on our hands, right? But I mean, I know our traffic. I don't think it's happening. And we've had some people come back when they see their stuff posted on the site because their friends will tell them, and they'll say things that are largely the same reasons that got them on the site in the first place. But what I'm getting at is that the majority of what I think that other study does in terms of the community is that it gives everybody in this room a chance to all start laughing at this one person. It's kind of become more about the community as a whole deciding together what is acceptable behavior. And so even though it may have this kind of older sort of competitive gaming undercurrent, the rest of gaming culture thinks it's bullshit. Sorry, I just realized I should be doing. Usually Morgan moderates my stuff.
Yes, please.
Okay. Yes. I just want to say how wonderful I think what you're doing is today. And I also want to say I was talking to one of my female students. I have very few in my, unfortunately.
What do you teach?
I teach at Princeton Institute. It's a computer science and engineering school, but I'm in arts. But in my game class, I can count my female students on one hand for the last, say, 10 years. But anyway, I was talking to one of my female students. We were talking about online gaming insults and just like how she deals with that. And she said, well, she thinks that it's because it was the culture the person was brought up in. And she said it's gotten 20% better at least since people started acknowledging it was bad. You know, that it was bad. So she said from the time she started in 2005 to 2012, it's gotten 20% better. But what you're doing is really contributing to that, which is really terrific. I also wanted to mention this research being done by psychologists in cognitive science in collective intelligence. So I think you're onto something that could maybe bring the social acceptability or non-social acceptability factor and maybe really influence real behavior by some of the research that you might be interested in the future.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know the ethics of everybody pointing and laughing and shaming, but no, I see what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be, I guess it really has to be thought through in a very intentional way.
Yeah. I'm pointing now.
I just have a brief anecdote that your presentation reminded me of. Before I was aware of all of these issues, I was watching my best friend play Red Dead Redemption on Xbox, and he is white, straight, and male, and Red Dead Redemption is kind of this massive open world type game where
It's a Rockstar game.
Yeah, and you can like go on multiplayer mode and run around, you can interact with other characters, and you can pick one of several avatars. And the avatars, there's some male avatars and some female avatars. And he happened to be using his girlfriend's Xbox, so on her account. So he had a female name, a female username.
You're about to tell a story I've heard a lot of
yeah,
times.
and he decided to choose a female avatar because he just thought they were cool. So he's like running around doing his thing, and like these packs of guys would like follow him around. And we had the mic on, like he didn't have his mic, it wasn't working or something. We could hear everything, but we couldn't say anything bad. So they're all like hitting on him and like being really like verbally weird and creepy and like trying to jump on him. And after a while we just, you know, like what your site does, like we just have to laugh at it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
It was the absurdity,
yeah.
right? It's like what are they expecting them to? Is she going to suck his dick
Yeah.
right now over Xbox Live? Is that actually going to happen? Probably not. Probably not.
Maybe in a fantasy.
And I do think this kind of cross-playing, even inadvertently, is very helpful to helping people understand that this does happen.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to some of the other presentations we've heard today about how these trolls are kind of bringing their analog behaviors into this digital space where this kind of thing shouldn't matter. Like, they cannot even conceive that a man would want to play, to role play as a woman.
Yeah.
Like, they immediately jump to, like, female name, female avatar. It must be a woman in the real world, which, like,
Yeah.
why? Like,
Yeah.
why would you?
Maybe that's the forces guys to play female avatars. That would be their punishment.
You know, it's funny though, that's a really different, so if you interviewed kids even 5 years ago, they would have told you that every female avatar they encountered online was a guy. Like
Yeah.
that was their total perception. It was an automatic perception, including teenagers. So there's been some kind of shift
Yeah.
of, I don't know what kind it is, but it's some kind of shift where the perception is no longer that it's a female avatar, there's still a dude behind that avatar. So there's
Yeah.
something happening there that.
It's because they listen to the statistics that say
Yeah.
50% of women.
What you mentioned actually is something that we've talked a lot about, but I can't find the right angle that I want with it. And it's a project that we sort of call Play Like a Girl. And I mean, the last iteration that we've thought about it is like encouraging men to sort of send in their stories playing as a woman online. And I'm in Canada, most of my friends in the US, I keep on missing the free Xbox Live Gold weekends, so I can create a new account. But I'm currently obsessed with the idea of gender reversal. And so this is kind of like an epitome of that. It's like, if it's actually the same, just play like a girl for a weekend. Just do it and just tell us how it goes, right? You know, no judgment. I just want to hear if it goes the same way because that's good data too. That's good anecdotal data as well. So.
I think that's great. Yeah, because there's this campaign. Well, are you from Toronto or?
Vancouver.
Oh, okay, so I don't know if they have it there, but it's a walk a mile in her shoes, and it's for the White Ribbon campaign. So all these men wear high heels and they do a marathon.